What's going on, guys? It's Jake Camaro here with the third episode of Flashback Friday, and the first one that I'm actually putting up on a Friday. I'm sorry I haven't been uploading videos in a while. I'll explain that in my next video being posted in the next few days. But right now, I'm with a special guest, Baseball Man 0609, also known as Steve, and I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Steve. I like NASCAR, I like Xbox. I like Joey J. Camaro. He's a nice kid. I actually know him in real life. Lives right down the street. So we're gonna play some NASCAR on Flashback Friday.
Yeah, so this is NASCAR The Game 2011 or NASCAR 2011 The Game. I can never really say it right. This game came out in March of 2011 for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, and came out in May for the Wii. It was developed by Eutechnyx Studios and published by Activison. This is the first Need for Speed game since NASCAR 09, and the first one that has not been created by EA and published by them, as their contract with NASCAR expired back in 2008.
There's one DLC that came out for this. It's on the marketplace for 160 Microsoft points, and it gives you 3 drivers and resurfaced Daytona and Talladega, including the pits and everything.
Yeah.
And one of the things I wish that... Okay, yeah, keep going.
It's called the season update, because this game, although it is called NASCAR 2011 and came out in 2011, it was actually the 2010 season tracks, drivers, and cars. So some things, that was one of the complaints that they had, and they did introduce this later update that fixed that. And you can play with people who don't have it. Like Steve has, we both have it, but mine was still downloading when we recorded this video. So as you can see, I do not have the resurfaced Daytona, but Steve is actually playing on his screen with the resurfaced version.
Yeah, the resurfaced Daytona actually looks a lot nicer than the other one that Joey's playing on, because it's nice and dark. It looks a lot better, and Talladega looks a lot nicer too. So I was just recently on that one too. It looks the same thing as Daytona too.
Yeah, so this game had quite a few tracks. All of your Sprint Cup Series tracks. They did not have any nationwide tracks, drivers, and any part of the season. It wasn't in there at all. Or neither did they include the Truck Series, which actually nationwide and the Truck Series were included in NASCAR 09. But they the developers said that they wanted to make sure that the Sprint Cup Series was 100% that it could be before they went into the Nationwide and Truck Series. So we could probably be seeing it within the next few year versions. And but for right now, it's just not going to be there.
Yeah, that's what I'm disappointed about. So you can't, because you can't have any trucks, or that's what I wish they would add in the new game, the NASCAR Inside Line, because NASCAR isn't all Sprint Cup. It's NASCAR Nationwide Series, NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. So that's what I wish the Eutechnyx people would put into the race, put it into the game.
Yeah, but basically when you start up your game, you have a couple options. You can choose between like the campaign, career mode that features the entire 2010 season, and then you have the option to purchase the DLC pack, which includes the 2011 season. And you can actually switch out between the two. And then you have multiplayer, which you can go in with up to 16 different people and play all your standard NASCAR games and tweak the settings to how many laps you have. Like right now we're playing on a 20-lap version, but you can go all the way up to the standard 200, which takes a really long time, but it's really fun because it
takes about 4 hours. It takes about 4 hours because I actually did it a couple days ago.
Yeah, last night we did a 64 lap race, and that took a really long time because the cautions take an extremely long amount of time, probably because of just the loading menus, because you have 3 main loading screens during a caution. You have one right after the crash, which shows the replay, one after that, which shows you right here, just sitting behind the pace car, waiting for anyone to quit, and then you have one more before you actually go back to the race and start racing again. So even now, we had 4 cautions in this game, 4 or 6, I don't remember.
I think we had 6.
Okay, yeah, 6. And even that took a really long time. And when you get into races like really long ones, lots of the race is just going to be you sitting behind the pace car and facing through the pace car, waiting for the race to restart.
Yeah, that's what I wish they would fix, is the phasing through the pace car. But I know one of the other things they're gonna fix is when you spin out in the front stretch when you're gonna go into the pits, and you get black flag for that. That's what they're gonna fix in the inside line for NASCAR the game 2011, 2012. Not. That's what they're gonna fix for inside line.
Yeah, that game is scheduled to come out this fall, and it's pretty exciting because, again, like they said, they're going to fix a lot of the problems with it, and they're thinking about actually adding a feature where you can drive under caution. Like, when you're under caution behind the pace car, it's completely on rails, you can't change anything, you have no HUD, you can't even change your view, and when you're pitting, as soon as you go into the pits, you can select your option, but then you just glide into the pits and just sit there because on online mode, there are no like pit crew that actually comes out and changes your tires and stuff. That's one of the things that I wish they added in multiplayer mode. They have it in campaign, and it's really realistic. But they're thinking about adding a feature we can actually drive in that, which will add some realism. Because I had the PC version of like NASCAR 1999, and that was pretty fun because you could actually like get into the pits. Like you actually had to pull your car in there, and then you sat there and everybody repaired stuff, which was kind of cool.
That's what I wish they would do the next game. Exactly what you said. So it'd be the best.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna wait for the new one to go and then buy it, and then that's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, the NASCAR has definitely in the past few years not had very many games since EA dropped it. So this game is definitely really nice because it kind of brings you back to the classic NASCAR like feeling. There's been some like stock car themed games, but there's been no official licensed NASCAR racing video games since 2008. So I think that it introduces lots of realism with really good graphics and a brand new like pit stop animation, which was they used a real life pit crew that they came in and used motion capture, and that's what you're actually seeing. So it looks really realistic, as well as the damage. When this game came out, there was definitely not very much damage, but they perfected it over the year it's been out with patches and downloadable contents. Like with the season pass, I was watching the season update. I was watching the trailer, and they actually said that they improved the damage, so you're getting really realistic like destruction in the vehicle.
Yeah, I'm so glad that they're doing that too, like more damage. And as you can see right now, Joey just spun out, and because he hit the back bumper of my car.
It's really hard to get.
And that just declared. Yeah, just keep going.
It's really hard to get control when your car is actually like spinning. It's a lot harder than it looks because you have to completely brake and then turn. Because this game is definitely not like Forza 4, where if you spin out, you can just turn back onto the track.
Yeah, this game is not like Forza 4. This game is where if you crash, you're definitely screwed, or you're definitely gonna throw out a caution. Because if you crash, there's no way you'd have to completely stop. But in this one, even if you stop, sometimes you can't even get back on the track because your tires are bald and you just hit the gas and it'll just spin.
Yeah, so in multiplayer, you can actually like choose to customize. You have very deep integration options. You can actually like choose if tire wear and fuel is on, or you can actually choose how, like, in addition to what it is, you can actually choose like 4 times more, 3 times more, 2 times more, 1 times more, and that of course is in campaign as well. So you can actually choose in the career mode, in the season mode, you can actually have really small races. So my first few, since I did get this game, my first few races have just been like 4 laps, but then you can increase it all the way up to the 200 standard laps.
Which just really sucks because it's like 4 hours long and it kind of hurts your hands and your eyes.
Yeah, it's definitely not a game, especially in multiplayer, where you can like pause it. So you're basically sitting there, turning left around a track for a couple hours, and it's definitely not for everyone. This game is definitely like unlike they've had some Forza, some NASCAR integration into some of the other racing games, like Gran Turismo 5 had a little bit of NASCAR, and then Forza 4 with they have Indianapolis Speedway and a couple others. And they have stock cars where you can put liveries on them, so they have a little bit of NASCAR there too. It's not officially licensed, but This is definitely much more of a hardcore game than those two, because you it's very like if you crash, you're completely out, and if you there's the flags are very unforgiving. Like if you go into pit road going too fast and you're almost out of gas, you could completely lose the entire race and have to restart.
Yeah, that's what they need to fix too. If it does that, that means it's kind of bad.
Yeah, I was
But
playing.
the ranking system here it's pretty easy to rank up in here. Like I'm level 23 and I'm an ace. It says I'm an ace because I ran the Daytona 500 and you can if you do a full Daytona 500 you can rank up like 16 to 17 times. Because I had like 80,000 experience points and just for running one Daytona 500.
Yeah, in the season cup mode, I was actually trying to pit. I was almost out of gas, and I came in too fast because the warning system, there's a little warning system that says speed limit 55, and then it says your speed, and then it says the amount of yardage between you and where that rule actually comes into effect. But I pulled in, and it didn't happen until like 2 seconds before I came into the pits. So I was still going like about 70 miles an hour into the pits. So I actually came out of the pit area and had to go around the entire track with 1.1 laps worth of fuel left. And I just basically coasted around the entire thing and was a lap down, and I had to restart because I was just completely out of the race.
Yeah, that's what they need to fix is that stupid guiding system where it's supposed to tell you how many yards you have. That's what they need to fix is that. Because if they fix that in the new game, that'd be great. I would just love when they fix that.
Yeah, one of the things that I hope that they'll have in Inside Line, which is coming out in a couple months, I hope that in multiplayer they somehow feature a system where you're not trying to crash as much, because like right now we're playing in private mode, it's both of us and we're talking to each other and telling us like if we're going outside and inside, so we don't crash as much as online, like with just random people. But I wish that they featured some sort of system where you're trying to not crash as much, because sometimes you have one race with 15 really good people who are really hardcore, really good NASCAR drivers, and really just want to have a good race, and then there's one guy who can just take them all out purposely and ruin the experience for everybody else.
Yeah, that's what's happened to me with a lot of kids. Like I want to have a clean race sometimes, but when they when they just go out and just start wrecking you, that's when I just don't like them. That's when I just don't like it when kids just wreck. Because when you're trying to have a good experience with these guys trying to race, but when you wreck, it just doesn't seem right. You just purposely just wreck them all. It just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, it is really easy to wipe out in this game. Even like me and Steve communicating with each other, we had 6 cautions, so it's definitely not very easy because you have to use a lot of precision. Because there's one part where I actually just like kind of bump him and I completely like crash, because it's you have to really be precise when you're passing each other.
You have to be right on the dot when you're gonna pass.
There you go.
Because if you're gonna pass and like they don't hear you what your side you're going on, they could automatically just go up on that side and just wreck you right into the wall. That's what they need. They need more communication.
Yeah, I wish that what they could do is I don't know if you've ever played Portal 2 co-op mode, but in that you can actually like tell them to you can like have little toggle things with little pictures, like indicate something like shoot a portal here or go right here. So I wish they kind of featured like a comma rose type feature, which is featured on many PC games, but on consoles for multiplayer. So you could say something, you could have a bunch of options like coming in on inside, outside, stuff like that. So you can actually, even people without a mic or people who don't want to talk in public online racing lobbies, they can still have some sort of communication system. And right here, you kind of see me wipe out. I do get control. I almost get control. Like I'm really close. I think I have it, but then I take one kind of bad turn of the wheel, and I just completely spun out.
No, that's what's realistic about this. Like the controlling in this game. And when you spin out, it's kind of like you're gonna do a donut because if you turn one way, it'll automatically flip you the other way. That's what's realism about this. Because that's what really happens in NASCAR.
Yeah, and as you can see, that caution took a really long time to come out. And then another thing is that replay was actually just a couple seconds before they threw out the caution flag. And I wish they actually featured the actual crash, because you just saw me like going around, and it would be nice because like in multiplayer you want to see like who caused it, what happened, where did I mess up. Sometimes if the caution doesn't come out immediately, you don't get to see that.
Yeah, that's what they need to fix. Is when they fix that, that's gonna be everybody will be so happy when that happens.
So but this game is a really good NASCAR simulator. It's very different than the like EA NASCAR games that came out for the past few years. But I think that if Eutechnyx stays with this and really put some effort into it, I think this could definitely become a as good as or better than the EA versions. With the with the NASCAR like experience points, it's cool because those actually can be carried across online and single player. So it can show, even if you don't want to play the like season mode and you just want to play with your friends, you can still rank up as much as somebody who just plays season mode without multiplayer at all. Because some NASCAR
this is where this got.
Some NASCAR people don't want to like play online because of like what we talked about earlier, where like crashes and stuff like that.
Yeah, they want to play like they want to play with the whole standard field, and just like you saw before, Joey hit me and bragged because he hit me and it bumped him, and because that's what I like. Because when like people try to bump draft you or try to bump you and spin you out, they can sometimes they'll hit you in the wrong spot and they'll just flip out. They'll just spin out. So that's happened a lot to everybody before. Yeah.
So we're kind of getting to the end of this race. As you can actually see, what you're going to be seeing in a second is because we just spun out on the last few laps, you actually get a little bit more like race. So I believe that after this restarts and I'm in the inside, we actually get 2 more laps. So it's actually 20 out of 21. So we'll actually be able to finish the race, and we're actually able to pull it out without any more crashes for the next few laps, so we can finish really good.
Yeah, so that's what we try to do. We try to like let's see if we can not pull any more cautions anymore. But we ended up not getting any cautions, and I ended up hitting the wall right here. I think I ended up hitting the wall on the back, and that's what I think that caused me to lose the race. And then on the last lap, you'll see it in the video. On the last lap, Jay Camaro hits the wall, and I almost kind of won it. So you'll see it in the last lap.
So just to kind of wrap up this video, I think we definitely recommend this game to the NASCAR fans. Like for like a race, somebody who just likes racing games, this might not be the best game because it is very like hardcore NASCAR, but it's definitely a nice game to pick up. Right now, you can get it on Amazon for about $35, which is a little bit cheaper. But then you also have a new version coming out in November, October, September, somewhere in that time frame. The release date hasn't been announced yet, so it kind of comes down to a pure decision. It isn't available on Games on Demand, so you're gonna have to buy like a physical copy. But it's a good game, and we would suggest it definitely for anyone who likes NASCAR.
I would suggest to every single one of my subscribers and to every single one of your subscribers because it is one of the best games I've played. I really loved it, and this is the part where Joey hits the wall right there. He hits the wall, and I'm coming up behind him, and he ends up pulling it up too. So that's how he wins it.
Yeah. So you're gonna see the ranking up section in a second, where I actually rank up one time. You get a couple little double XP, and you can actually see that little star. So I've unlocked some more paint schemes, but again, they're 2010, and I barely just rank up. I'm like I don't remember. I'm like 20 some points. Yeah, 23 points less. I wouldn't have been able to rank up. So that's kind of our standings. One final thing that I wanted to say is in the loading menus, you get trivia, which is kind of cool. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This has been pretty good, nice Flashback Friday, and I will see you guys later.
Yeah, please subscribe to my channel, Baseball Man 0609. That'd be great. And the Joe Camaro will stick in the description below. And thank you for watching the Flashback Friday.